armored vehicles on the streets of Portland and reported agents throughout our community.
That breaking news tonight. Right now, city and congressional officials say federal agents are in Portland. We are still working to answer key questions. Who are these agents and where have they been spotted and what exactly are they aiming to do? Local and state leaders are calling on the city and its residents to respond with peace and not resort to violence. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Barry Mangold. We have a lot to get to. We begin with team coverage with Katu's Jennifer Singh, who joins us live from downtown with reaction from Portlanders. But first, we're going to hear from Victor Park, who's live outside the ICE facility in Southwest Portland. So, Victor, first, what are you seeing out there right now?
Hey, good evening, Barry. Yeah, right now there are a few dozen protesters in front and around the ICE facility. It has been peaceful since we got here 2 hours ago. There were some tense moments when ICE agents or DHS agents came out in a group of about a dozen or 2 dozen of them, making way for vehicles to go in and out of the facility. But other than that, it has been calm. Now, Wilson told reporters a memorandum from the White House called out Portland, and Wilson says President Trump is making good on his promise.
Over this past week, the rhetoric from the White House had been clear. They've been clearly isolating Portland, and we see the conversation being had nationally. Yesterday, a memorandum from the White House specifically called out Portland and Los Angeles. We've been hearing rumors about a deployment. Today, those rumors became a reality. And as Councilor Zimmerman noted, we have armored vehicles on the streets of Portland and reported agents throughout our community.
And Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley claiming President Trump is using this effort to agitate protesters to fit Trump's view of Portland.
The president has sent agents here to create chaos and riots in Portland, to induce a reaction, to induce protests, to induce conflicts. His goal is to make Portland look like what he's been describing it as.
I'm back out here live. Again, these protesters have been out here for several hours. Earlier, there were about a handful of them, but it has grown in the last couple of hours. In the meantime, we've reached out to the White House, ICE, and DHS late this evening, but have not heard back. We're live here in South Portland. I'm Victor Park, K2 News.
All right, Victor, thank you. I know we'll be talking to you again real soon. And as Victor mentioned, we have not yet heard directly from ICE, but Attorney General Pam Bondi posted on social media about 5 hours ago, and although she did not mention Portland, she did say in part, quote, "At my direction, I am deploying DOJ agents to ICE facilities and wherever ICE comes under siege to safeguard federal agents, protect federal property, and immediately arrest all individuals engaged in any federal crime." Bondi added, quote, "I am also instructing the Joint Terrorism Task Force across the country to disrupt and investigate all entities and individuals engaged in acts of domestic terrorism, including the repeated acts of violence and obstruction against federal agents." And earlier this week, K2 spoke one-on-one with Mayor Keith Wilson on the president's threats to send federal troops. K2's Angelica Thornton pressed the mayor on a similar potential issue during that interview. Here's what he had to say.
Well, you know, President Trump will often talk about how Portland's on fire, but we know it's not. I mean, we have the celebrations going on. We see the hope. That's the national narrative. We got to buckle down and take care of what we can control locally. I'm working with all of the regional mayors to build Portland back up, to create a consolidated approach to caring for our region, and that's working. We cannot get brought into the national narrative. We've got to take care of what we can control. We will not take the bait, but it's our time to care for Portland and all Portlanders.
What if it happens? What if President Trump says, I'm sending in the National Guard? What does the city do then?
You know, Portland has to be, and we have to stay focused on high standards. So we don't believe that deploying troops to American cities on American soil is going to help anything. We don't think militarizing our cities is going to help anything. It's overreach. It's not constitutional. We're taking care of our city. We can't control the federal government, but we can maintain our high standards, Angelica, and that's our focus.
You can watch that entire interview with Mayor Keith Wilson right now on Katu.com and on the Katu News YouTube page. Scan the QR code on your screen to get straight to that playlist. And for those of you who do not know, here's a map that shows the distance between the ICE facility and downtown Portland. In recent months, demonstrators have been outside the ICE facility in South Portland near McAdam and Bancroft. But in 2020, the majority of protests were centered in downtown Portland surrounding the Justice Center there. Now we want to continue our team coverage here with K2's Jennifer Singh. She joins us live from downtown right now. And Jen, you spoke with other Portlanders this evening. What are they saying about all this?
Well, Barry, there are a lot of mixed emotions about this. Some people have no words for it. Others say they're not surprised. Some people say they just didn't anticipate President Donald Trump to go through with his words of sending federal troops to Portland. Now, some community business owners say they worry about what this will do for business. Others say they worry about their neighbors.
It's terrifying. Say that again? How come it's terrifying? Well, because it's an authoritarian taking over the country. It's terrifying. It's terrifying to have it here. It's terrifying for, like, my friends and my family, and everything right now is horrible. And having it over there makes it less real. But having it in the streets here, that's a lot to take in. Like, I'm shaking.
I'm actually just thinking about a lot of people that I know personally that will be affected by this. So it's really scary. We don't need that. That's not what we need. We need affordable housing. We need, more funding for schools. We don't need a lot of money and a lot of armed people. That's not really, like, what is that going to do to solve problems?
Now, we also heard from one community member at tonight's press conference who says she's been peacefully protesting, and she says she believes the agents will be the ones to make things violent.
We have remained peaceful the entire time. The feds are the goons. The feds are the ones who are attacking people on the streets. They are attacking us so indiscriminately, they hit people just on their way going home.
Now, city leaders and community members I spoke with tonight say that if people do decide to protest throughout these next couple days, weeks, they urge people to do it peacefully. For now, live in downtown Portland, Jennifer Singh, K2 News. Back to you.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Jennifer. And now city leaders and community members from earlier tonight say that they are also calling on folks to protest peacefully, accusing federal agents at the ICE facility of assaulting protesters, as Jennifer mentioned in her live hit there. That demonstrator in the audience that we heard from there, speaking out after Mayor Keith Wilson and other officials all called for peaceful demonstrations. Listen.
Do not take the bait. Do not give Trump's federal agents reason to escalate.
We don't need to take the bait. We are a strong community.
Let's not be baited by federal bullying tactics.
Everybody go home and read Dr. King's 6 Principles of Nonviolent Direct Action. There's no place for violence in response to what is taking place from the federal government. Let us stand together.
And Oregon Senator Ron Wyden responded to the reports of feds in Portland in a post on X, saying in part, quote, "Portland is a peaceful, vibrant city with no need for federal agents in our streets. I urge Oregonians not to fall into Trump's attempt to incite violence. Just as I did in 2020, I will lead our delegation and state officials to oppose any unjustified increase in federal forces." And this news came down a bit late this evening, but K2 did reach out to the lawmakers on both sides of the aisle for reaction to this. We are working to get a response from Governor Tina Kotek as well, Representative Cliff Bentz in Congress, Oregon House Minority Leader Christine Drazen, as well as the White House. And As we said earlier, we did reach out to both DHS and ICE. We'll let you know as soon as we hear back. And we have also reached out to the Portland Police Bureau, who said that they will continue to monitor the area around the ICE facility in Southwest Portland. PPB said specifically, you can expect to see patrol officers in that area at times. Earlier this month, we asked Police Chief Bob Day how he would react to feds coming to Portland. Here's what he said.
Portlanders should know we're staying the course. We're abiding by state law, by our sanctuary city status. I continue to be in communication with our federal partners. I continue to make sure that the organization is, staying within our appropriate lanes.
And this all comes after President Trump took aim at Portland yesterday. Those remarks were made after signing a memorandum directing the FBI and the Justice Department to look into funding for radical politically motivated groups.
People are dying. You go out to Portland, people die out there. Many people have died over the years in Portland. Portland is, I don't know how anybody lives there. It's amazing, but it's anarchy out there.
And while taking questions from reporters, President Trump claimed crazy people in Portland were trying to burn down buildings, including federal ones. The president appearing to reference ongoing protest outside the ICE facility. He's calling those demonstrators professional agitators and anarchists. Trump says that his administration is going to whip cities back into shape. And we've been hearing this rhetoric from the White House for the past several weeks now. Earlier this month, White House border czar Tom Homan told reporters that he plans to flood the zone with immigration enforcement.
The president said weeks ago, I said weeks ago, that with sanctuary cities, how we're going to address it, we're going to flood the zone. We got 10,000 more agents coming on, we're going to flood the zone. We don't have a problem, a biggest problem like Florida, where every sheriff and chief's working with us, or Texas. So where we're going to send our additional resources to sanctuary cities. Why? Because we know there's a problem there. We know for a fact they're releasing illegal alien public safety threats to the streets every day. So we're going to send the boots on the ground to the places that we know there's a problem. Address the biggest problems first, and that's your biggest cities, or sanctuary cities. Whether it's New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Portland, Seattle.
So tonight, all across our social media, people are divided on this story. One viewer writing, quote, "Dare I suggest Wilson walk around without his security and then he'll understand? Trump needs to take control and clean up the city." Another viewer writing on social media, "Absolutely not needed or wanted in Portland. And if protests break out, it absolutely is on Trump." And we want to know what you think about all this. Here's our question. Would you like to see a federal crackdown in Portland? Right now, looks like 76% of folks say yes. You can weigh in by scanning the QR code on your screen. And we have a lot more to come after a quick break here on K2 News. A look back at when Portland has been in the sights of President Trump before. A breakdown of the timeline from 2020 and the latest from around the ICE facility tonight. Plus a check of your forecast coming up right after this break. And we create a lot of valuable content on K2 News. You can go to our YouTube page to see any story or share it. Just use the QR code on your screen. We'll be right back.